Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're doing things a little bit different this time. I have my sister Britney here with me. She's an amazing, talented makeup artist. You guys should check out her website and social media sites, which I will link down below. And yeah, we're just gonna show you guys how we got this look. So if you're interested and you like how I look, then please keep on watching. Okay guys, so we're gonna start with the eyes. I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you can really see. I'm actually going to use foundation to prep her eyelids because it's so thin. It's the Luminous Silk Foundation by Giorgio Armani. And I think that I'll like it for a base. And I'm going to drag it down here where she has dark circles. Next, I'm going to take a very creamy shade from the Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D, just to set her lids. For my transition shade, I'm actually going to go in with the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia in the color Bon Fresco, which is like a lavender, like a dusty lavender color. I'm gonna put that in her crease as a transition. The look that we're trying to create is like really blown out, and it kind of goes all the way up to her eyebrows. So I'm gonna start lower in the crease and then place my product there and then blend up. And I'm also going to bring that color closer in here and blend. Next, I'm going to go into the Love Letter shade in the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia. And this is like a fuchsia, and this is going to be like the main shade that we're going to use to recreate this look. And I'm going to kind of stamp this on her lid, like right by her lashes to start, and then I'm gonna blend upwards. And that's kind of a trick so that you don't get so much product in her crease, and so we could still see like a gradient effect. Once I messily stamp that there on her lid, I'm gonna go back in with that eyeshadow brush and just blend the top part of what I used in the color Love Letter. Blend it into Bon Fresco, which is that lavender shade. And you can see how it starts to just diffuse the colors together. Now with a brush that's a little bit more flatter, I'm going to go back into Love Letter, and I'm going to bring up the intensity of the color a little bit higher, kind of reaching her crease and kind of focusing more on the center. Going in with Bon Fresco, the color that we put in the lid, and I'm going to just try to blend the crease out even more. If you don't really see where your crease is, just pick up your eyebrow a little bit like this, and then where you see that hollow, blend in there. I'm going to go in with Burnt Orange from the Modern Renaissance palette, very lightly. I'm going to blend that into the crease. I like to add a little bit of warmth into the eye, and a good way of doing this is with a peachy shade. And I kind of want like the pink to be blown out a little bit more, like to the side of her face. So I'm gonna just go back into Love Letter with that flat brush, and I'm just gonna stamp, again, close to her lash line, but very lightly. I'm gonna start dragging my brush towards her temple and bring that color over a little bit more. Don't be scared to make a mess here, because we're gonna clean it up with her foundation and her concealer afterwards, and that's kind of how you create that sharp line if that's the look you want, or you can kind of just keep it blown out, which I think is cool too. Now with a smaller but also dense brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Tempera in the same palette, pop that in the inner corner, circular motions. I like to blend it, kind of go up. And you see how that brings light to the look. And then I'm also going to pop it right underneath her brow bone, right in the center at the highest point, and then blend it down and out. Alright, before we finish the rest of her eyeshadow, I'm going to go ahead and do her brows.
And that's literally just like filling in where she has sparse hair. She has very thick brows. She's just blessed with these brows. So we're gonna zoom you out a little bit to see her whole face. I'm gonna start with this primer. It's a drugstore primer by Maybelline. This one is the Blur and Smooth. And I like it because it's moisturizing, but it also leaves you kind of a little bit of a tacky feel that I like. Just make sure that you put it wherever you have texture. Texture is like a really big thing when you're doing skin. It's really important to have a moisturized face, a clean face. I even kind of like to bring it up a little bit under the eyes because we tend to crease there, and I actually find that this product helps with smoothing it out. After I do that, I'm gonna go in with my favorite facial mist by Mario Badescu. It's literally completely empty. It's the rose water spray. And it's gonna literally give you like this glow underneath your foundation. For today's foundation, I'm gonna use the Ultra HD Makeup Forever.
She's using her good stuff on me today, guys.
There's so many beautiful foundations out there, but this foundation is so good for cameras. When I do like videos or TV stuff, like this is the best foundation for any type of skin type. And I'm gonna go in with the shade 335. And I'm going to use my new favorite beauty sponge. Boop. So guys, I found a whole pack of 32 of these cosmetic wedges. They're super soft. You don't need to wet them to blend in your foundation. And I found it for literally like $1.60 at Target. It comes with 32 of them. So you can buy like I bought 3 packs for around $3. Compared to other wedges, other sponges, you're gonna see that that price point is amazing, and the sponges are actually good. They don't soak up so much product. I'm gonna go ahead and just swipe some foundation on her face with my finger to start. That's how I like to start applying. Sometimes I'll do it on a brush when I'm working with another client, but since she's my sister, I will just apply with my fingers. And that was about 2 pumps. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start blending. So when you get close to the eyeshadow area, just blend around it. You can see like what a pretty finish it leaves the skin. I'm gonna show you guys a really great corrector palette that I bought. This is actually from Tarte. It's called the Color Your World palette, and it's a concealer correcting palette. And it has really pretty shades. Just a little 411. Green is to cover redness. Peach is to cover dark circles under your eyes. Then it comes with a nice little concealer color. It comes with a highlight, which is so beautiful. It comes with more of like a contour, and then it comes with this shimmery color as well. It's called Champagne. She has some redness around her nose, so I'm gonna go in with the green concealer corrector and lightly with my finger. Even on a client, I would use my finger in this circumstance, because when you're using a green color, it's kind of intimidating, and your fingers are literally the best tools to blend skincare, I feel. And it should cancel it out, and then we'll put concealer over top of that. So that orange that you see under her eye is actually just pigmentation. I'm gonna go in with the peachy shade in the palette. That is just immediately, you're gonna see the difference. It's gonna brighten up her under eyes. It's super creamy. You can like see how it brightens it up.
Yeah, that's crazy. Look at all that.
And then, let's see on this side. This isn't even concealer. This is just a corrector. I mean, I'm sure you could wear it as a concealer. You just have to set it really well because it's super creamy formula. So you kind of have to work fast with it. But it definitely has brightening properties, not only correcting, because you can see how it just brightens up her under eyes like that. So lately, I've been going back to a drugstore favorite for many people. Personally, I never liked this concealer. but I've gone back to it. It's the Age Rewind by Maybelline. A lot of people love it. I never felt that it was the right color, but after I do my correcting step, I find that it's really nice to highlight under the eye, and it'll be good to cover up redness too. So I'm gonna add it here where we put the green a little bit, and then literally just right underneath the eye. I know that looks like a lot on camera, but it's not that much product. We're gonna go ahead and blend it with our wedge, the same wedge we blended our foundation with. And I'm gonna start at the outer edges and blend inward. I actually see that the concealer on camera is picking up a lot brighter than in person. I love it in person, as I had just said, but maybe there is some like SPF in the concealer or something that's like it's like kind of giving a flashback, although since the lights are so bright, I'm just gonna go in a little bit with the same foundation, like half of a drop, just to kind of like blend in the concealer to the foundation again. You can see that's like a little bit better. So if that ever happens, just tone it back down. We haven't put any powders on her face, and that's the trick. You gotta do liquids first and then powders. With this same palette, guys, you're gonna see how sick this highlighter is. I just use it with my finger because I find I have the most precise application. This is the before. She already has a lot of glow on her face naturally, but I just know how this adds an extra glow to the skin without like that super like Instagram highlighted look. It's really like a super natural glow. And then I'll set it with powder highlight after. This is just like a really good base. It's good to use a base. It'll stick longer. And it's literally right here on the cheekbone. And then you blend out. Don't drag the product all the way. It doesn't look as natural. Next, I'm gonna go in with a cream contour stick. This one is from NYX. I'm just gonna go right into where she would normally contour like that. It's super creamy. I love it so much, and it blends out like a dream. And I love to use it with this sponge because I literally just stamp it exactly where I laid it at first, and I start blending up and kind of bringing it closer into the cheek. But I use the guideline of the edge to kind of give me that sharp contour, and then I bring it up into her temple. See how natural the finish is. And then I like to bring it on the sides of the nose, just the excess contour that I have on my sponge, because I think it brings life to the face when your nose is more bronzed. All right, now it's time to set everything. I'm gonna go in with a NYX finishing powder in translucent, and I'm actually gonna go in right with my sponge. Now I just flip it to the square side, and I rub my translucent powder on it. It doesn't pick up so much, but it's still enough. Make sure that once you're gonna do your concealer, if you start to crease a little bit with your finger, just kind of like lightly pat it in. Go in with the powder. It's gonna add a little bit of brightening. It's really just gonna have like set it, but it's just like a light setting. And then I'm gonna bring life back to the face with some bronzer. I love the L'Oreal True Match blendable powders. I start it here, right where we made that harsh contour line. And I just blend up. I'm just gonna bring life back to her face. Kind of merge everything together so it's kind of seamless. Now I'm gonna go in back into the Modern Renaissance palette in the color Love Letter with this short but dense brush. And I'm gonna smoke out her under eyes, starting at this edge here. And then I'm gonna go in with the same brush in Burnt Orange, which is what we were kind of adding to like the upper crease area at the end of the top. And I'm just gonna like try to blend that into Love Letter. Now we're gonna highlight. This is from Wet n Wild, just right at the top. We're gonna go in with this blush palette. We can use Apricot, which has a little bit of shimmer in it. I like shimmery blush. We want it to be very monochromatic, so we really want pink blush. So this is our look so far.
Okay guys, we applied my lashes and my lip off camera. For the lip choice from the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip palette, we mixed numbers 10 and 12 together to create this pink look. Alright guys, that's the finished look, and I think my sister did a pretty good job. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you like this look, if you want to see more makeup looks on this channel, we will bring them to you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time, guys.